Hi students, welcome back. We are going to talk about very unique input device in this video, and that is keypad. What is a keypad? So keypad is a physical device which is used to provide numerical inputs to any microcontroller or any device that is being controlled by a microcontroller. In this keypad, there are rows and columns which are arranged in the form of a two-dimensional matrix. You would have seen these keypads on the dial pad of a telephone, a landline phone. It is also on your calculators and also a part of your full-size keyboard where you call it as numpad. So here every button is going to produce a unique code. This code will be decoded by Arduino and then relevant actions are taken. These keypads are available in different shapes and sizes. Some of them can be bulky, some of them can be very sleek and thin. So you can purchase any one from the market. So how do they work? As I said, let us take a very standard 4x4 keypad. Here I have the availability of digits from 0 to 9. I have 4 alphabetical values also, which is A, B, C, D and star and hash. Now you can see that there are 4 rows and 4 columns. For each row and each column there is a wire. So there are 8 connecting wires. Now imagine if I press the number 1. Number 1 is in the top row and on the leftmost side. So C1 and R1, these two wires will generate output as 1, others will have output as 0. So the 8-bit code will have 2 of the bits as 1, other 6 bits will be 0. Now you can see that if I press any button, only 2 bits will be 1, other 6 bits will be 0. That means for every button press, a unique code will be generated. The task of Arduino is to convert that unique code into a human readable value, that means 1, 2, 3. So how do we do that? Let us check with an example circuit on Tinkercad. So the circuit is ready. What I have done here, I searched for the keypad and I dragged this keypad and attached to 8 pins on my Arduino. You can see there are 8 pins on this keypad, row 1, 2, 3, 4 and column 1, 2, 3 and 4. They are attached. So that's all about the connections. There is nothing more that we are going to do. Let us come to the coding part. I have written the code also, and let us see how does this work. So here, first of all, I go to the library and I include the keypad library here. Then I define two constants, that means how many number of rows and how many columns do I have. So if you are using 4x4, you need to select both of them as 4. If you are using 4x3 or any other version, then you can choose accordingly. Now I define a character array which is 2 cross, which is a matrix of size 4x4, and here I define these characters. Okay, remember this keypad is sending the binary data, 8-bit binary input. I am going to map those 8-bit binary codes into these characters so that it is easy for me to read, because if I generate one 8-bit binary number and I say this is character A or this is number 3, it will be really difficult for me to identify. So this should be same 1, 2, 3A, 4, 5, 6B, 7, 8, 9C and star 0 hash D. If you have a different keypad with different orientation of characters, you should choose accordingly. Now, wherever you have connected your rows, my rows are connected. These are my 4 rows, row 1, 2, 3, 4. They are connected on pin number 9, 8, 7, 6. So I mention this pattern 9876. Then my columns are connected at 5432. So I have mentioned that also. Now I define my new function, and which is going to give me a new variable called my keypad, and the inputs are key map, which we just generated, row pins, column pins, number of rows and number of columns. All these are inputs, and based on that, from the keypad library it will map everything in my new variable called my keypad. Now we start our program. In the setup function, I am simply starting the serial communication. In the loop function, I say there is a character called key pressed, and it is getting the value from the library function getKey. This is my complete library, my keypad, which is generated from keypad. You could have used simply keypad also, and getKey is the function from our keypad library. So whatever key we are pressing, it will get it and store in key pressed. If key pressed is not equal to no key, that means some key is pressed, then we are simply saying serial print the key pressed. So if I press 1, it is going to print 1. Next line it will print the next value. Okay, so let us see the simulation. We start the simulation now, and since we are printing on the serial monitor, so we zoom on the serial monitor. Here if I press 1, so I can see 1 is printed. If I press 2, 3, 4, then I press B, C, 0, hash, and so on. So every time I press something, the same character is printed. If I am not pressing anything, nothing is being printed. Now you get an idea that I can handle this character value and play with some if else conditions to control some of my actuators. So a very simple application can be a password protected door. We are going to do such projects in our next module. So this was interesting application, and you learned how to integrate your keypad with Arduino. So students, I hope you have learned about basic sensors, components, actuators, and all the new devices in this module. We have our module test, and in the next module we are going to start making some interesting minor projects. Thank you and keep learning.